Listen live. We're right there. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. So, guys, the Warriors are reviewing Draymond Green's altercation with Jordan Poole. Green reportedly threw a punch at Poole, their teammates, obviously, on the champion Golden State Warriors. And they were at practice on Wednesday. It's yesterday. And every now and then they give him a knuckle game test. But I don't stress. I don't fess. I just get rid of the stress. And then shake hands like a man because it's a family thing. Only the crew will understand. That's before your time, Jay.
Yes, it is.
All right, listen.
Still nice, though.
Yeah, the two had been, verbally going back and forth, some pushing. Okay, it's kind of normal stuff. It escalated when Draymond took a swing and made contact. The Warriors are considering disciplinary action against Draymond for escalating the practice encounter, Jay. What can you tell us?
So, look, should the Warriors suspend Draymond for a day or two? Yes. Especially if he connected. You connected on a punch? Yes. Is this a big deal to me, though? No, man. I mean, we got in fights all the time during preseason in college and in the pros. Like, this kind of stuff happens.
You've been boxing since you were a kid. Did you do well in those fights, Jay?
I mean, I stood on the outside and watched.
Okay, gotcha.
More so than engaged. But, I mean, stuff like this always pops off, especially when you have Draymond Key, who was yapping all the time. The thing that does make it interesting, though, is that Draymond and Jordan Poole are up for extensions. And there is this sentiment that I feel when I listen to Draymond talk on this pod and hearing him this offseason about him not feeling like he is being appreciated, like his value is appreciated. He wants to sign that 5-year, $167 million extension, right? You got Jordan Poole, who's up for a rookie extension worth probably $188 million. So at the end of the day, the fact that both these guys are up for extension, who feels more valued, there's tension escalating around that. Yeah, stuff's going to pop off.
Makes sense to me.
So you think that they got into it based on who's going to get the contract?
No,
is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not. I'm saying stuff always pops off, Key, but I think I've always known Draymond to be somewhat calculated. And I'm just going to throw it out there. Look, this sometimes is pecking order. And sometimes for the younger dude, you need to represent or you need to understand who this dude really is, who I really am. And I think sometimes Draymond likes to send messages to younger players or people in general about what his value is.
It makes sense to me, Key, because when you think about it, they're both up for extensions. Dre will be 37 at the end of the extension he wants. So the team is probably thinking he might be slowing down a little bit. Do we give him the money? On the other hand, he's the heart and soul of the team. Like, what do you do, right? He, along with Steph, kind of redefined basketball. So what do you do with him? So that's up in the air. Meantime, they like Jordan Poole. So he's the hot young thing, and he's coming up. And Dre is probably thinking, hold on, young fella. Like, as Jay said, there's a pecking order here. Probably a little resentment under, I would imagine, if it was me.
Probably not, man. I doubt it has anything to do with the contracts. If anything, when guys, through my experience in looking at or being in locker rooms or whatever the case is, or having issues with teammates of my own, it's usually a jealousy factor. There's something there that, there's something there.
Well,
not
there?
Money. It's just something. It could be a million different things. It could just be you getting on my nerves because you always talking and running your mouth. It could be.
But Key, when you said jealousy, what if the team, because look, here's Myers, the general manager, said that the ideal goal is to extend everyone, right? Because also Wiggins is coming up.
And Joe Lakeups has no problem going over.
Lacob will pay the luxury as a great owner.
Tax.
But GM acknowledges there will be difficulties, and the Warriors don't seem overly eager, that they're going to give Dre priority here. So when you say there's jealousies, it may not be just the dough, but what that also represents in terms of your kind of standing on the team. And if I'm Dre, I'm like, hold on. What are they up to? 4-time champion. As really the crime partner to Steph more than anyone else. I'm the guy who allowed, small ball to exist, the death lineup, 5 out, modern basketball, his pick and roll partner, the do everything man. And I'm being lumped in with this dude who just got here?
Yeah, but first of all, Draymond's going to get his money. It might not be at the level that we might think, but Steph Curry is going to make sure he gets the money because he realizes that value, the friendship, not only the friendship, but just what you just said about getting them 4 championships and on the quest to get many, many more, even though the age factor looks a little bit different. Sometimes you overpay for certain things, and if Joe Lacob and the Golden State Warriors feel like the luxury tax isn't an issue, I don't see why paying people would be an issue.
Key, I think this is going to be more fascinating than what people think here, because you got obviously Steph has his money. You have Klay Thompson, who's coming off an injury, right? Played last year, but still, questions around. He didn't play in the preseason game about him being fully healthy, coming up on a contract the following year. You got Draymond. You got, Jordan Poole extension. You got Wiggins extension. I think the Golden State Warriors are in a really interesting predicament. And as much as we're going to sit up here and say that, yeah, Draymond Green is part of the culture, the DNA, has 4 world championships, the counterpart to Steph, as a general manager or owner, you do have to start looking at what is in the best interest of the franchise to continue to stay younger, to help Steph continue to build his legacy.
I agree.
And I'm not sure that Draymond Green fits into this picture long term.
If you do that, though, Jay, if you're missing Draymond Green, you're getting ready to miss a whole lot.
Understood, brother.
And
why do you think Draymond is
unless you can go find that same identity,
Not
that guy
growing on trees, man. That's hard.
If you can find that guy right there, Jay, that whatever it is that he brings to the table, if you can go get that guy, you should go get him.
Yeah,
but
but
that
what's
guy
his
in
name in
that
Toronto?
style,
What's his
that
name in
guy in
Toronto?
that style ain't
That's
walking around just walking around the streets. That type of guy is not walking around the streets.
No, his name in Toronto, the forward who reminded everyone of Draymond. Now his name is escaping me. On the Raptors. I'll think of it on the break. But anyway, the point is, yeah. And wait, say it again, Yates.
OG Anunoby?
Oh,
Yeah,
OG
Anunoby. Yeah,
Oh,
Anunoby.
okay.
Anunoby.
OG.
Yeah, OG.
He's.
But the point is,
he's different. He's different than Draymond. He don't
my-
remind me of Draymond,
Wait,
man.
that's my point. But when he was coming up, there was talk about maybe he could be like that. To Key's point, it is hard to find a
Yeah,
Draymond Green. But I agree with your analysis that what's interesting about it is you gotta be smart. You can't just let your emotions take over. You got to get younger. You got to get better. You got to constantly turn it over. But also, you'd be ripping the heart and soul out of the team if you didn't have Draymond, right? Like, it's a tough spot to be in.
I agree with everybody. It's a tough spot. But it gets to a certain point where, yes, I recognize your value and being a defender and being the heart and soul of the team. But is that worth X amount of money?
Yes.
Not when I have younger pieces that have helped me carry the load. I'm not sure Klay Thompson is going to come back to being who Klay Thompson was. That's also a deciding factor in this, man. Like, Klay Thompson has been getting shots up this entire offseason, but, you're still wondering about, will his legs hold up? Will he get back to that original self? And that's where Jordan Poole factors into it. That's where guys like Wiseman, you have a lot of younger players too, man. It's not as easy as just pay him whatever he wants to be there for the next 5 years.
It's the right franchise to be dealing with this. They're like the model franchise in terms of how you wish your team would run. But these are not actually easy choices, I don't think. Is Lamar Jackson playing this season better than his 2019 campaign where he won the MVP? After Key has this from O'Reilly.
O'Reilly Auto Parts specializes in keeping your car on the road. Not sure how much life is left in your battery? O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. Their professional parts people will test your battery for free. If it does need to be replaced, they'll help you find just the right place to get your car fixed. Superstart batteries are built to handle even the toughest conditions. Stop by O'Reilly local auto parts store or visit O'Reilly.com.